Good morning. That was our wake-up call, just in case we getting lulled by the beautiful music. Thanks, Wade. Welcome this morning. Welcome to community. Welcome to SSUC, where we are happy to gather again, as we do each week in community, in the hopes that we are helping one another to live as inclusively, to live as beautifully as we possibly can. We wonder together what it means to seek to live our best lives with spiritual depth, with compassion and kindness, with love for all, seeking to make a difference in this world wherever we are. And so whatever wisdom we share with each other, whatever connections and friendships we make in this room, we hope that we can do it with that end in mind, that we wish to be the best humans we can be, and that we're all making our way on this life journey together in the good times and in the challenges. So welcome to this place, to be who you are and who you're becoming. We will honor and acknowledge the land this morning, because by doing so, we're seeing and experiencing and connecting with the land that we live on. And in doing that, we can access a deeper understanding of history and our identity and our connection to all. So, in that vein, I want to share with you some words of Richard Wagamese, Ojibwe-Canadian author and journalist from the Wabaseemoong Independent Nations in northwestern Ontario. He writes to us this wisdom: the land holds stories within it. The trick is to make yourself open to them. And when you do, they have a voice that rings loud and clear and cuts through everything else to show you that history is a living thing, just like the land itself. I realize that the moon lives in the lining of my skin. The sun rises with my consciousness, and the earth thrums in the bottom of my feet. Everywhere I go, I take that sense of wonder and mystery with me. Every step we take deeper into that mystery changes us, makes us more, changes the geography of who we are. So we read these words to help us on our continuing learning journey, acknowledging with gratitude what we learn from First Nations peoples and wisdom who have inhabited this land for so long. May wisdom like this help us in our commitment and long road we've begun walking toward reconciliation.
Good morning. My name is Bonnie Berg, and I am your gathering companion this morning. It is my honor and pleasure to do this because I believe firmly in what we do here. That's not in my script. First, we participate in two rituals that define the start of our gatherings with each other: our candle lighting and our affirmations. Let's light this candle for the light of the stars that remind us of our cosmic beginnings. Let's light this candle for the spark and light that dwells within each of us that reminds us of our relatedness and connection to each other. Let's light this candle for the light of creativity and wisdom that connects us to teachers through the ages, that reminds us of the power and strength of love in our life to transform us. Let's light this candle for the ordinariness of a flame that reminds us of our evolving awareness of sacredness, the specialness, the blessing, the possibility of all. It is also my privilege to share the affirmations of our commitment to all the colors of inclusivity that is a treasured part of our welcome each time we gather. Let's celebrate that in this community. We are all welcome to be who we are and who we're becoming. We affirm our inclusion and belonging as we work together, building a safer place for all ages. Safer place for all people. And would you say those with me? All sizes, all ages, all colors, all cultures, all genders, all sexualities, all abilities, all learning styles and neurotypes, all religions or none. We welcome all, and welcome to this community.
Singing a song like that reminds us that sometimes the songs we sing express what's going on in us, and sometimes they express what we want to be going on inside of us. And so whether we're feeling strong or whether we're not, when we sing that, we can hear the voices beside us and around us, and we know that even if it's not within us, it's close at hand, and sometimes that's enough. Time for All Ages means that I would want to welcome anyone who wants to come to the carpet or participate in this right where you are. So come forward, stay put, whatever you like. I have a book to share with you this morning. Hello. I'm so glad you came up with me. Oh, hello, come on in. Here come more. Don't leave Dad hanging. Oh, yeah, it's true. There's room on the carpet if you like. This book is called Everywhere Wonder, and it's by Matthew Swanson, illustrated by Robbie Bear. And let's just see what's going on in this book. I have a story to share. You know what? I'm coming closer. Okay, here we go. I have a story to share. It's a little gift from me to you. You might not know it, but you have a story too. You'll find it in the things you stop to notice. The world is full of people and places and things, all of them interesting, all of them beautiful. You never know what you might see or where your mind might take you, so keep your eyes wide open as you go. He's floating through the window. He's taken us somewhere. I'm not sure where yet. In Egypt, there are pyramids. In Arizona, there are canyons. You see him standing there? Right on the edge. Don't get too close to the edge. In the jungles of Brazil are leaves so plentiful and green that light can barely reach the ground below. In the high hills of Japan are gardens full of wind-worn rocks and clean white sand, but not a single flower. Someone has raked this sand very beautifully. In Kenya, there are hot, dry savannas filled with zebras and blue wildebeest. Whew. In Alaska, there are cold, wet waters filled with seals and sockeye salmon. He's got his eyes open. He's on the boat. In the middle of the Coral Sea, there's a roaring storm that no one will ever hear. And on the near side of the moon, there's a quiet footprint that no rains will ever wash away. Oh, that's very cool. That footprint was put there many, many years ago, and there's no wind on the moon, so it's just going to always be there. Until someone comes and messes it up, probably. In Sheboygan, there is a tractor mechanic named Shirley who has 37 friends. This page surprised me when I first read this book. I thought, oh, that's random and beautiful. I love that. So there's Shirley with 37 of her friends. On the North Pole, there's a cold and lonesome bear wishing for some company. You want to go see him? Of course. To let him know he's not alone. But your bike won't get you there and back by bedtime. Oh, darn it. Still, you noticed him, didn't you? He walked off this page and into your head. Now he's part of your story. It's kind of like the thing where you say, don't think about a hippopotamus. What are you thinking about? A hippopotamus, of course, so now it's part of your story. There are other wonders yet to find not so far from where you are right now. They too are interesting. They too are beautiful. Stop to really look and you will see them. Okay, now we're getting to it, because now we're noticing things right around us. In the highest part of the tree is an unexpected gift, a blue balloon that must have slipped from someone's fingers. Have you ever been somewhere and looked up at the ceiling and seen a balloon? I have too. I've always wondered, was someone sad when they lost their balloon, or were they happy that it was going to be up there for a long, 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 long time? In the deepest part of the pool is a sunken treasure, a shiny dime that must have tumbled from someone's pocket. Will you save it or spend it or leave it there for someone else to find? In the grocery store are aisles and shelves and stacks of cans. You have to look so carefully to find the one you want. And in your bowl of steaming soup is just one noodle that doesn't match the others. Where did that one come from? Oh, well, at least there is an X, because now we can at least play part of a game of X's and O's. Right? On the playground is a sturdy line of bright black ants carrying their supper home. Under the bridge is a gently rolling river floating a blue glass bottle out to sea. Perhaps it holds a message. What does it say? Who could it be for? In the busy town are sidewalks full of swiftly moving people who somehow never seem to collide. In the quiet countryside are miles of open, empty roads that somehow never seem to end. Where do they go? Someday you may find out. In the hallway is a spotted dog that turns golden as the sun sets through the window. In the bedroom is a doorknob that makes rainbows when the reading lamp clicks on. Now the lamp is off and the moon is up. You close your eyes and see them again, the things you noticed today. All of these together are your story. Dream with them a while. And when you wake up in the morning, open your eyes and open your window and let your story out into the world. It is a little gift from you to me. Now my story's done, but yours is just beginning. That is this story called Everywhere Wonder that reminds us to keep our eyes open for the things all around us that are amazing and wonderful, but just seem like ordinary things at first, but they're part of our story. So now it's your turn. I want to ask you, and everyone here, what things have we noticed lately that have brought us kind of a sense of like, oh, isn't that great? Or wonder, or awe, or beauty, or, I don't know, hippopotamus. What do you think? What's something you've noticed? And we'll start here. Has anyone noticed anything? Maybe this morning, maybe yesterday? Just an ordinary thing? Someone's got one back there. I wish I could have heard that.
On the way here, there were a bunch of half-full
Mushroom rings. Lovely.
I saw a big cloud 3 days ago, and it looked like your hippopotamus.
Oh, a cloud that looks like a hippopotamus. I love that one. Do you have one? The harvest moon. Big, beautiful. A sunflower. Did you see something?
My sister dyed her hair purple.
Your sister dyed her hair purple. Love it. Anyone else notice anything that brought some wonder? Yes, Shel?
I feel like sunsets never really get old, no matter how many you see.
Sunset.
Sparrow on my balcony railing.
A sparrow on your balcony railing. Nice. Beautiful. A deer. Beautiful. The roses at the front of the church. Oh yeah, the roses. Easy to miss if you pass by them enough, but that's good. It's a good reminder to keep our eyes open. Wes?
20,000 people on the hill at Folk Fest.
Ooh, on the hill at Folk Fest, 20,000 people.
Newborn baby.
A newborn baby. What have you noticed?
Fireworks in Folk Fest on my balcony.
Fireworks, and you saw them from your balcony. Very cool. Very cool. I love it. I love it. Well, we could do this all day, but it's so fun to notice stuff. So, isn't it great? These are reminders that there's ordinary things to always be looking for, and they become part of us because we think about them and we remember them, and we cherish that wonder that it brings in us. Thanks, everyone, for coming to the carpet, for participating from where you are. We are going to continue. You're welcome to stay, to play. Wes has youth space on the go. So if you're a youth-type person, you're welcome to head with youth with Wes. We're going to sing a song.
I sing a
a song to the sea, valley and stream, flower and tree. I sing to you. I sing a song to the lion. I sing a song to the deer, birds of the air, life in the sea. I sing to you. Oh, what a wonder! Oh, what a marvel! Oh, how awesome you are! Oh, what a wonder! Oh, what a marvel! Oh, how awesome you are! I sing a song to community. I sing to heal, to care, working for good, willing to share. I sing to you. Oh, what a wonder! Oh, what a marvel! Oh, how awesome you are! Oh, what a wonder! Oh, what a marvel! Oh, how awesome you are! I sing a song to compassion. I sing to kindness and peace, justice and truth, courage and grace. I sing to you. Oh, what a wonder! Oh, what a marvel! Oh, how awesome you are! Oh, what a wonder! Oh, what a marvel! Oh, how awesome you are! Oh, how awesome you are!
This is a chance to share a few of the things that are happening in the life and work of SSUC, and so we spend just a little bit of time sharing the things that need to be shared. And if you have something this morning, make your way to the front, and we'll make sure that that gets spoken. First and foremost, thanks for all of you who have supported by sharing the news and the word about Camp Hero Quest for, that's our kids camp happening starting tomorrow. And so preparations have been long underway. Kids are ready to come, and that will all start here tomorrow morning. 5 mornings this week of kids learning about everyday ways of how they can be heroes through acts of kindness and compassion and love and service. So thanks to Daisy and 2 other leaders that are part of that camp who will be here tomorrow. And this is a request from me and from the camp staff. Because there's setup happening right after our gathering for camp, wondering if we could get a little bit of help stacking these chairs immediately after. If you've been here a long time, it'll be a throwback to when we had to do this all the time. So me, Dara, others will help us, guide us in how to stack the chairs, and we'll just leave 15 of them out, and that's all we need in this room. Thanks for any who can stay and help. Next, Dara has a few things to share. Thanks, Dara.
Do you have camp slides? Good morning. I have 3 things to talk about, actually, and Camp Dragonfly is first. They have made a request for donations of beverages for their camp. They're asking for cans of pop, juice, or bubbly, and you can bring them next Sunday on the 17th. I'm not sure what the situation will be going on in the small hall, so just leave them in front of the office, and I will get that sorted in coordination with Camp Dragonfly. Yeah. And then the retreat, do we have a slide for the retreat? Just a reminder to register for the upcoming retreat in September. Throughout August, you'll be seeing some familiar faces up here talking about the activities that they're going to be doing. Also, keep an eye out for your Tuesday highlight emails, because you'll get more in-depth explanation of what Friday evening will be, Saturday evening, and information about the following Sunday as well. So keep an eye on that. And the men's group is starting back up in August on Tuesday. They meet every Tuesday, 10 a.m. in the music room downstairs. And I've even been allowed to join. So it'll be good.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gordon Oakes, and I'm going to share with you a reflection that is part of our celebration of the 100th anniversary of the United Church. And each week we're trying to share different aspects. And so I've been asked to share today a particular part of my ministry, which has been to work in the area of education and to be involved with St. Stephen's College. And I came up to Edmonton in 1963 to attend St. Stephen's College and to move into the 3-year process for ordination for ministry. And the thing that was known as St. Stephen's College, for those of you who can see this mock-up, St. Stephen's College was the first building on the university campus in 1908. So our church, the Methodists, the Presbyterians, and our background has been there at the center of education for many, many years. And when I came up to Edmonton, I was able to stay in this residence, which has quite a history in the city. And in our congregation, we've got Bill Hibbard, Dale Irving, and Cliff Cunningham, who also stayed at St. Stephen's College during their years of study. And to place it physically, it's kitty corner from the Timms Theater at the university. And you'll see this wonderful stalwart building sitting there like a fortress, and beside it there is a smaller building, which is the theological unit that was built in 1958. Initially, all of the classes were in this building, but then when St. Stephen's grew and was able to expand, they built the theological unit, which is beside this building. This building is a historical resource, and the provincial government does their work within it, so it's no longer a residence, but it was a residence for so many people who studied at the university over the years. Education has always been a cornerstone of the United Church. St. Stephen's has accompanied me over those 59 years of ordained ministry. They have provided continuing education throughout the years through many programs and through many eminent speakers who are talking about current topics, working in the area of theology and in other areas. After 10 years of ministry, I felt that I needed to grow further in terms of my own education. And there was a Doctor of Ministry program I wanted to be a part of in pastoral counseling, but the only place I could find it was in Boston, and there were no Doctor of Ministry programs in Canada. So I took my degree in Boston and then came back to Edmonton, and at that time, St. Stephen's College, true to form, always responding to the need that there is, had started a Doctor of Ministry program. And they invited me to come on to their committee, and I was part of their program committee for 25 years. And it was an experience in which I really grew as I supervised students from all over the world who were taking our Doctor of Ministry programs. But it was such a gift to me in terms of my learning and my growth in ministry. St. Stephen's has continued to expand to the needs that they've seen in the wider community with many very exciting programs. Their philosophy recognizes that spirituality is expressed in a great variety of ways and is foundational to the human experience. The student body, St. Stephen's, now has degree programs, a master's in art therapy, and masters in psychotherapy and spiritualities. So it is training a number of counselors and therapists who are working in this area. These programs that they have expanded also serve the ecumenical community and people from many different denominations. And because of their openness, people from no denomination and no church background who see their ministry as one of healing and working with others in healthcare or in education, and working outside the walls of the church, but believing that is the ministry that they are carrying out. In my time, during the 60s, the number in the student body was probably around 20 in the 3-year program, plus the university students who were taking courses there. But now, because of online education and the flexibility of the St. Stephen's program, they now have 250 students who are taking all of these programs in many different ways and varieties. Truly amazing for a small theological community. And so this experience of mine is just one of the experiences that many have, because we have 7 theological colleges across Canada. And to think of how St. Stephen's has impacted me and my life personally is truly amazing. And to then think of the way that the United Church over 100 years has provided education, the education that's made a difference in terms of changing communities. I was very pleased to serve as Chancellor of St. Stephen's College for 3 years, and I've just received recent news that I have been nominated to receive the Honorary Doctor of Divinity at St. Stephen's College at their October novation, not convocation. We've been so fortunate over the years to have had in our midst and in Alberta an education institution like St. Stephen's College, and the kind of institutions and places that we have as a United Church across the country that serves people in ministry, but also greatly is serving people who are lay people. So thank you for your time and your attention. I'll leave this here if anybody wants to peek at it later.
I want to follow up with that anniversary moment with just a little bit of news from the wider United Church of Canada. You may have heard this if you subscribe to various different Broadview Magazine or the United Church of Canada, but as of yesterday, the United Church of Canada as a denomination has elected a new moderator. That is Reverend Kimberly Heath, who has been serving at Wall Street United Church in Brockville, Ontario. And so we will enter into a new 3-year cycle with a new moderator and with all the wisdom and words that she will have for us over the next little while. Other piece of news coming out of General Council that's happening over these last few days in Calgary. The United Church of Canada on Friday issued an apology to the 2S LGBTQIA+ community for its years of exclusion and pain that it has caused. And so if that's something of interest to you, we have initial plans to kind of share the wording and the video of that apology for a time, and then have a discussion group after that. So stay tuned if that's something of interest to you. We'll put some plans behind that in the next week. Well, it's an honor, but it's also with great pain and sadness that I share a few moments with you as well, to share in honoring the life of Janet Bates, who has recently died. Janet, many of you may remember as being a part of this community, quiet, intelligent, a little bit sassy. Janet was a wonderful member of our choir and our Silvertones choir. She had a stroke in 2023 that changed her experience of life quite greatly, and so we didn't see her after 2023. But she was well cared for by family, by friends, and she died on Friday, August the 1st. So our hearts are with her family. No news yet about a memorial gathering, but we remember Janet's warmth, her eagerness for community, for who she was and how she lived. I also want to share the tragic news of the death of Lila Cunningham. This is the grandchild of Cliff and Rosemarie Cunningham. Lila loved nature, saw the beauty in everyday natural things. She was creative and curious and liked to make things, and our hearts are with the entire Cunningham family at this very difficult time, losing such a young, such a vibrant young person. We're planning a memorial gathering for next week, and more details will be shared as we know more. But we do also recognize that this is, of course, difficult and tragic news for the family, but it is also difficult news for an entire community, for all who knew Lila, for any in the trans community, for those for whom this news is particularly difficult. Please know that I'm available for conversation, as is Wes, our youth coordinator. So in hearing news of the loss of such a young person, reach out to those around you for comfort, for care, for support. In honor of Lila, in honor of Janet, it is our custom to sing our heart, to sing our pain and our grief and our hope and our life into what is these situations of loss and care. And so we sing our song, that we are all safe in the undying light of love.
Undying light.
Our reading this morning is from Sasha Sagan, For Small Creatures Such as We, and this is an excerpt from the introduction. Growing up with my parents, our secular home was not cynical. Being alive was presented to me as profoundly beautiful and staggeringly unlikely, a sacred miracle of random chance. My parents taught me that the universe is enormous, and we humans are beings who get to live on an out-of-the-way planet for the blink of an eye. And they taught me that, as they once wrote, for creatures such as we, the vastness is bearable only through love. My parents taught me that nature, as revealed by science, was a source of great, stirring pleasure. Logic, evidence, and proof did not detract from that feeling that something was transcendent. Quite the opposite. It was the source of its magnificence. We humans are very good celebrators. I dare say we're the best at it in the whole wide world. Other species may express giddy enthusiasm when there's plenty to eat or when it's time to mate. Those events are certainly worthy. Well, what can I say? Nice thought. We celebrate them too. But other species don't plan parties. They don't prepare feasts. They don't wear special outfits, put special decorations, or say special words. They hardly even take a day off. For me, I can live without an afterlife. I can live without a God, but not without celebrations, not without community, not without ritual. Amen to that. There are no hymns about the testing of theories or mapping of genomes, no festivals to commemorate great inventions or medical breakthroughs. Since I long for ways to honor the wonder of life, I found myself making up new rituals. Sometimes I find I can repurpose the traditions of my ancestors, to celebrate what I believe is sacred. I'm going to repeat that last line. Sometimes I find I can repurpose the traditions of my ancestors to celebrate what I believe is sacred. This is an insight from a contemporary author. May we find wisdom for our living.
Listen to this experience. A few years ago, a woman named Leah took a road trip through New Mexico, and one night she pulled over at a remote overlook in the desert, miles from the nearest town. As she stepped out of her car and looked up, she was stunned The stars blanketed the sky, thousands upon thousands, more than she'd ever seen. The Milky Way curved overhead like an ancient river frozen mid-flow. And she stood there unable to speak. She felt small, not in a fearful way, but in a way that connected her to something vast, elegant, and unknowable. And tears welled in her eyes. Not from sadness, but from beauty and humility. Leah was raised in a church, but she wasn't religious. She didn't believe that someone or something was watching over her, but in that moment, she felt something sacred. And in that moment, she felt that religion and spirituality suddenly made sense to her. She wasn't immersed with rituals and holy words in that moment, but felt that life was sacred in a way that the universe itself felt full of mystery and meaning, a little cosmic reminder that love and wonder are enough. In this story, with names changed to protect the innocent, Leah's sense of connection has nothing to do with a divine being. Her sense of sacredness expanded beyond that narrow definition of her childhood. Her tears weren't about being held in the arms of some deity, but being overwhelmed at needing to find the source of the beauty. She did not feel the need to find the source of that beauty or its creator, but it was a moment where the mystery of existence cracked something open deep within her. Awe, not as fear, but as tenderness. Our sense of awe can come from many places, and I'm reminded of that line that Bonnie just read from Sasha Sagan's book about repurposing the rituals of our ancestors and celebrating what is sacred to us. That sense of sacredness and awe and wonder can come from many places. As we are engaging in this series on rituals, we're exploring in different weeks different ways we might do this. And we're starting with what I consider to be a really easy and accessible place to start, with that sense of awe and wonder. Because we've all had it, maybe in very different circumstances, but we've all had a sense in our lives of something that has made our jaw drop, has taken our breath away, has made us stop, pause, perhaps has even changed our understandings of existence. These feelings come from different places. They come from spiritual places, they come from religious places, from secular places, from places of connection and places of solitude. What we know in these moments is that they can come at any time if we're open to them. If we allow them to find a way to squeeze into our consciousness, to make their way into our schedules or our daily lives. A moment of awe can be triggered by nature or art or science or moments of profound connection. A moment of awe can describe a whole lot of things, maybe a sense of unity or humility, being part of something vast or being part of something tiny. A moment of awe doesn't often require a formal religious structure or a deity or a god or a doctrine, but it can. Moments of awe can be anchored in specific traditions and rituals or sacred stories. Who knows what happens if you were to encounter a fig tree or a fishing boat or a garden at nighttime or anything that might connect us to our traditions, past, and stories and traditions? Who knows what those things might elicit? Regardless of how or when or what, a moment of awe is closely tied to our curiosity, to our openness, to our reflection. Think back to the story we shared on the carpet and the moments of wonder that we can simply notice or not if we're not in the place with eyes and hearts open to them. Okay, left turn. Do you remember Job? Job is a guy in a story from long ago in the ancient text. There's a whole book named after him, the Book of Job. If you don't remember or don't know the story of Job, I want to tell it to you in a very, very, very tiny nutshell. Job was a prosperous and good guy. According to the ancient story, he lost his wealth, his health, his family, pretty much everything in a series of devastating events. Maybe he was the butt of a wager to see what kind of reaction Job would have to all this loss, or maybe not. The story's kind of ambiguous about that. But despite his suffering, Job refused to accept simplistic explanations. Job refused to accept the idea that misfortune was punishment for his wrongdoing. He has conversations with his friends, and I use that term lightly because they were pretty pathetic friends, really, saying, well, they said to him, you must have made a mistake somewhere along the way to be having this much misfortune in your life. Search yourself, search your heart, there's a moral reason. Job rejected that, but he listened to them, and he responded to his friends by saying this: I'm a laughingstock to my friends. I, who called upon God, and he answered me, a just and blameless man, am a laughingstock. How is it that the tents of robbers are at peace, and those who provoke God are secure? In a nutshell, saying, life is unfair, and it doesn't make any sense to me. So Job challenges the idea that suffering is always deserved, that justice is always visible. He sees the world isn't so simple. He refuses to believe that his misfortune is the result of some sinfulness within him, or that he did something to deserve the challenges and turns of life, just as he didn't deserve his good fortune. And then he turns to nature for wisdom. Ask the animals, and they will teach you. Or the birds in the sky, and they will tell you. Speak to the earth, and it will teach you. Or let the fish in the sea inform you. I think in Job there's a kindred spirit with Sasha Sagan. Like Job, she's not satisfied with the old tired dogma of religious tradition. Sasha writes, no matter what the universe has in store, it cannot take away from the fact that you were born. That alone is cause for celebration. She reminds us that wonder doesn't require worship. It requires attention, curiosity, reverence. To return to Sagan again, she writes about watching her parents create deeply personal rituals, observing the lunar cycle, celebrating the natural world, marveling at life's fleeting beauty. She was taught to engage with the cosmos, not with worship, but with wonder, with intention, with reverence, and yes, with awe. Like Job, Sasha Sagan invites us to look beyond easy answers, to find in the sheer miracle of being alive something sacred, something special. To celebrate the cosmos not as a temple, but as a home. And I love the connection that we can feel with this, because we gather in community each week on a Sunday, as it turns out, We gather to be a community that seeks wonder, and yet we do not call what we do worship. We've put away that old term that implies that some being up there, out there, requires our gratitude or our groveling or our praise or our worship. But rather, we've turned it. We have taken the traditions of our ancestors and we have reframed it, and we've said, what in life is worth our time? Worship and worth is the same root. What is worth our time and energy? What do we want to devote our life to? So we seek wonder, we find meaning. We know that the miracle of noticing and celebrating is crucial to all of this. To honor the stars or the soil or the breath in our lungs, to ask the animals, to listen to the earth, to be humbled by the cosmos' enormity and uplifted by the fact that we are a part of it. Wonder isn't reserved for mountaintops and galaxies. It lives in the ordinary. The steam rising from a morning cup of tea or coffee, the way sunlight filters through the leaves, the sound of a child laughing or an elder remembering, the quiet rhythm of breath in and out. This is a series about everyday rituals. They are how we make meaning. Through deliberate pauses. Rituals are how we say, this moment matters. So this week, we're about making space for some wonder in our lives. This is our challenge for the week. Where have you found it before? Will you find it there again? Or will you look in a new place? Where will you look to be amazed or awed or dumbfounded at life? Where will you find beauty or brilliance or simplicity or innovation? Our task this week is to create rituals that honor the everyday miracles, that bring about awe and wonder. Will we light a candle at sunset? Will we name what we're grateful for before bed or before we get out of bed? Will we walk barefoot on grass and remember we're part of the earth? Will we look up at the stars and whisper, I'm here? Will we watch a child play, a dog fetch, a baseball swing, an automatic blood pressure cuff inflate? What will we do that will bring a sense of awe and wonder? And how will we pause to make sure we say to ourselves, this moment matters? These are small acts. They're not worship, they're witness. They are what we give worth to. They're how we say, I see the beauty, I feel the mystery, I honor the moment, I recognize the awesomeness. So in a world that moves fast and demands much, ritual is how we slow down and remember. We are part of something sacred, and that's enough. So, just a few minutes of sharing. Maybe 2 or 3 or 4 of you have an idea already. What's something you do every day or week, or something that might be ripe for a ritual that invokes wonder? Do any of you have an idea yet? Maybe something sparking in your mind, how you want to pause this week, and how you want to make that moment matter. So just a couple of you, if there are. I knew that Gilda could be counted on.
Sorry. When I think about the universe and how everything is working together, that really gives me awe. And when Richard Wagami said that God, or not God, the Creator is an entity of perfect love, I really buy that. And I understand that we all create our own reality with our deepest ideas and values, and that's tied into how perfect creation is and how awe-inspiring that is.
So, Gilda, I'm not letting you off the hook. How do you think you might pause this week to honor what you just said?
Well, I believe, or at least I think, that such created perfection, when you think about how everything works together, that had to be out of somebody's mind. And that says to me that there is a creator.
More of a theological statement, Gilda, than a commitment for the week, but we'll let you off the hook.
I think the wonder of our life has a lot to do with the friends we make and other friends who we discover as friends. If you live long enough, you'll be surprised when you think of the people who are around you, sitting here Sundays with you, in this congregation, in this family. This is a big wonder. Thank you.
I have two quick stories, and Chris wants me to be short, but I've been short my whole life, so today I'm going to be tall. So, first story, we all remember COVID and the horrible feelings that we all experienced when COVID started on us. And the isolation and uncertainty that came with that stupid period in our lives. And so May and I started a ritual, and I don't know where it came from, but every night we will spend 1 minute listening to each other's hearts. And that gives us an opportunity not only to think about who we are and be thankful for what we are, but it also reminds you of this mechanical thing inside you that beats and makes life worth it. And it's a ritual that we've been keeping up since the start of COVID, and it's still going. And if we don't do it, we miss it. So the next night, we have to do a double to catch up with what we did. That's one story. The other one is I once read Winnie the Pooh, and picture Winnie the Pooh and Piglet walking towards a sunrise. And Winnie says to Piglet, "What day is it?" And Piglet says, "I don't know, I think it's today." And Winnie says, "Oh, good, that's my favorite day of the week." And we have a Sphinx cat, and cats have rituals. And every morning I have to carry this cat down to have her snack and her little saucer of milk. And on the way down I say to her, "Do you know what day it is today?" And she responds with a purr. And I say this is going to be a beautiful day because it's our favorite day of the week. It's today, and we are ready for all the adventures. And I know it doesn't mean anything to anybody else, and I don't think the cat takes any notice of me, but it puts me in the right state of mind. So it's a good ritual just for me personally to be thankful for the new day, because today is going to be a beautiful day.
Hello. Historically, I've been really bad at taking care of myself and thinking of myself first. So about 4 years ago, I decided to try and change that. And the only thing I did is prepare coffee the night before. So before I go to bed, I grind my coffee beans, I put my water in my machine, and I measure everything out. That is a profound act of caring for myself. I need coffee in the morning, desperately. I'm not a person or a person I like without it. So it's small, but this week I'm going to remember that that act is an act of self-care, and it means I love myself, and it's an act of growth. So I'm going to sit and remind myself of that.
I'm going to say something a little bit unconventional here, but me being
Join the club.
proud member of Generation Z, I'm 24, I use the internet a lot, social media, every day. And I think sometimes I'm in this group chat, we chat every single day about random stuff happening in our lives. I'm the only Canadian in the chat. One of the others is Russian, one of them is Peruvian, and two of them are American. And sometimes it just amazes me that in a world without this invention of the internet, none of us in this group chat, except maybe the two Americans, would be able to ever meet each other or see each other or talk. And yet here I am going in the group chat sometimes being like, oh, it's that time of year where the sun never sets. And then my Russian friend is like, oh yeah, it's like that in St. Petersburg too. And I'm like, hey, we're relating from thousands of kilometers. And it's something I take for granted sometimes because I've grown up with the internet my whole life. But then sometimes I'm just like, whoa. It is really wonderful that we live in an era where humans are able to connect like that across any distance, I think.
Very cool. You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Lucy, and this is I've been on vacation the past couple of weeks, and it was kind of rainy where it's not usually, and so I was reading in the rain, and that was like every time it rained, I would go out and just sit in the rain with my book, and it's really great, really simple, but yeah.
Beautiful ritual. I love that. I'm going to share a few from folks at home. This one's from Kane. My ritual I do that invokes wonder is practicing my beadwork skills. My Nookum, my grandmother, taught me how when I was little, and I will pause this week to remember that this practice, not so long ago, was almost driven to extinction by hate. But my ancestors persevered through love, and that is a sign that I should persevere myself, no matter how hard it gets. Thank you, Kane. Here's one from Don Fry, who's been joining us online for a number of months. My plan is to meditate for 15 minutes a day, read scripture, stop every moment, and sense the awe and beauty of each moment. Thank you, Don. And from Curtis Tufts, as I prepare the bread for next Sunday's table ritual, built-in advertisement, I will use the built-in time of waiting in the process to ponder with gratitude on what might be rising and fermenting in my life these days. Thank you, Curtis, and a few dad jokes thrown in. Love it.
I have a ritual every day. I go walking, and I always look for a flock of geese. And I've seen these geese grow up from when they were tiny little babies, and now they're grown up, and they stay with each other. And every day I see them, I look for them, and I marvel that they always stay in community. They are a real community. And I think, how wonderful. 9 of them all stay in community. And someday they'll fly away in community, and then they'll come back in community. It's a lesson for all of us.
I want to suggest to you that the time for sharing doesn't have to be over, even though in this form it is. After every gathering in this series, please continue to contribute what you're noticing, what you're learning, and offer your experience. It happens on my blog on the SSUC website. You may have seen it in Friday's Messenger and got the first one, but if not, go get the second one and catch up on last week's as well. You can do it at this link right there, ssuc.info/rituals. That's the shortcut, but if you want to navigate through the website to my blog and find it that way, you'll find it there as well. So yes, we'll keep sharing with each other. This is how we help one another, and we learn from one another. Because sometimes if you're a ritual skeptic, you might think, I have 0 ideas of what I could possibly do. But when we hear each other, we start to think, oh, that is something that's important to me in my life. I might try that. It's a wonderful way to, again, be together in the things that we're doing. So as I offer that invitation, I offer now time, thanks to Wade, for us to have some music to ponder.
Would you join me now as we strengthen our intentions for the week ahead? In our experience of each ordinary day, we approach the mundane and the routine as ripe for possibility. Let's remember that meaning doesn't have to be inherited. It can be designed, discovered, and shared. We hold space for each other's experiences, discoveries, losses, joys, uncertainties, and mark them with attention, not just reaction. May we give ourselves the permission to craft our days and weeks with time that honors who we are and who we're becoming, with care, creativity, and courage. We commit to exploring with judgment, inventing without permission, and building rituals that speak to the truth in our lives. We will be artists of intention, architects of emotion, keepers of memory, for ourselves and for our communities. May it be so.
Just before we sing our way out into our week, we will change the light. And know that as we leave this space, we will carry with us a sense of quiet astonishment that we're here, alive, aware, connected. May we pause often to feel the warmth of sunlight on our skin, to marvel at the symmetry of a leaf, to listen deeply to the stories of others, to notice the improbable beauty in the ordinary. Let's make rituals not to worship, but to find worth, to celebrate the fleeting and the infinite. Let's be gentle with ourselves and know that we are and part of cause for celebration. Go in awe, go in wonder, go in peace.
Oh